Going on, everybody? Back here, the whole lot of nothing. Talking Texans Bengals week 2 game tomorrow night. After week 1, Texans looked awful. Lost to the Jaguars, letting up 10 sacks at least, I think it was. They got the Bengals getting shut out against the Ravens. So nothing really to look forward to from this game. Unless you want to see Deshaun Watson in the quarterback, rookie making his first start. He didn't look completely awful when he came in the second half against the Jaguars. But I don't know. I don't know about the Texans at all after watching that game. So, the Jaguars, with Bortles is questionable, but first 2 years of his career at least, they're always playing from behind. He's got to throw for 350 yards just to be competitive in the game. He's got good receivers. They got Leonard Fournette now, running back, ran out for over 100 yards in his first game. They have some weapons, and I guess their defense is mediocre. Besides, I would say their pass rush with all the rookies they've drafted lately. They got Fowler down there, Calais Campbell they signed to a big deal. This dude, I can't even pronounce this one guy's name, but apparently he led the league last year for rookie sacks. No idea what his name is. But, the D-line is the strongest point. But, I wouldn't say it's, top 5 in the league or anything. Maybe definitely top 15 with who they have. But, look at some of the other teams. Like the Texans should have a better defense than the Jaguars. They looked like they played like shit. Watt got hurt. Dislocated his finger or some shit. But he wasn't much of a factor in the game. Had little to no pressure all game on the Jaguars. Which is pretty shocking since their offensive line isn't very strong. Like I said, the Jaguars are a mediocre team, probably bottom half of the league in most categories by position, and you just get fucking throttled by them. What is there to look forward to going up against the Bengals this week on a short week? Rookie quarterback, no real offensive weapons, no running game to be even be mentioned. Lamar Miller is a fucking plotter. The dude has no explosive factor about his game that would get you excited at all. Deshaun Watson, do I expect him? Do I expect Deshaun Watson to come in right now and lead this team to the playoffs? No, I don't. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Against a good defense last week, with Tom Savage starting, he was savagely bad. He was fucking atrocious in there. Held onto the ball way too long. Can't move in the pocket. Watson can move a little more, which is going to help because they're, I think their left tackle, Dwayne Brown, is still holding out for the Texans. No deal, no conversations are even going on with the team right now. So that really hurts. The Bengals have always had a pretty good defense. Top 12 in the league usually. They didn't really have. They lost 20-0, I think, to the Ravens, but a lot of that came off of turnovers, and the Ravens' offense is pretty mediocre. I know Flacco came back after not having any preseason work, not really working with the team until like the last couple days before the game. So, I expect the Bengals defense to come out and really put the pressure on Watson. But just think about the quarterbacks that Bill O'Brien has had with the Texans over his entire coaching career. I think when we first got there, he had Matt Schaub as the quarterback, but that was the year that Schaub basically shit the bed. Started like 6 games or something, and got pulled because he just didn't have it anymore. Then I think he went to like Oakland or Baltimore or something and continued to show that he was no longer an effective quarterback. When they go from Schaub, then he went to, who the fuck was it? T.J. Yates. I don't even know if he's still in the league. Case Keenum, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brandon Whedon, Brock Osweiler. Come on. These dudes are all career backup bums. what the fuck, what's going on there? Apparently, O'Brien's supposed to be this big quarterback guru, but he hasn't done anything with any of the quarterbacks he's had. I'm not saying they're fucking top prospect quarterbacks that should be good or have, any upside to them, but, he hasn't even shown the ability to coach these guys up and get the most out of them. Like, I don't know what's going on there with him, but I feel like this is his last shot. If he doesn't do anything this year, he doesn't develop but get the most out of Watson and tailor his scheme around Watson, kind of like the Cowboys did last year with Dak Prescott, O'Brien's gone by the end of the year. I don't see them going to the playoffs. I don't see them. That division's just too tough. The Titans are going to be good this year. Mariota's healthy. They look pretty good. They lost week 1 to the Raiders. I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed about. Ravens are going to be a real good team this year. Should be a playoff team. Should be a top 10 team with that team they have. They got Derek Carr's back healthy, looking good week 1. Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree. They added Jared Cook at the tight end position. Gives them someone dynamic, another receiver for Carr. They got the backs. They got Lynch. He looks fucking real good week 1. So, I mean, the Jaguars already beat you once. Who was the other team? I mean, the Colts are going to be awful. So, now I'm thinking about, the Texans could, if they win 8 games, they would have a decent chance at the playoffs, depending on what the Titans do. But, I see the Titans taking that division. And I see the wildcard team coming from most likely the AFC North or the AFC North or the AFC West. Something like the Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh probably going to take the division. So between Baltimore and Cincinnati, it's not an easy road for the Texans to climb. So you really need a strong performance tomorrow night. Looking at the Bengals, I mean, that Dalton looked like shit. I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat that at all. He looked fucking awful. All right, he had 2 interceptions inside the 5-yard line, which completely changed the game around. Their offense in general, their running game, they got 3 backs and they're evenly distributing the carries between the 3 of them. None of them could really get going in the game because they didn't have enough time to pick up any momentum or anything like that. I mean, in my opinion, you got to pick one of these guys and just make them your go-to guy. Because honestly, if you can't get them, a three running back system doesn't work. A 2-back system can work. Look at the Falcons. You got Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman. 2 of them are explosive together. They each get 12 to 15 carries a game, depending on, what's happening in the game. If they're up, they're down, either way. But, if you're down in the game and you're working 3 backs to try and get some type of, something going, something clicking with your offense, it's the wrong way to do it. I don't care if everyone goes with this, running back by committee thing, says all backs are the same, dime a dozen. Yeah, I can agree with that, but at the same time, if you have a better guy, go with the better guy. I'm not going to say it's going to be, it's Joe Mixon right now, even though he looked pretty good. But you got to pick someone between those 3, put them out there, give them 15 to 18 carries a game and split the other 12 amongst the other 2, see who comes out better. If it's not working with that guy, rotate someone else in the second half. You got to find some fluidity with your offense, which the Bengals do not have right now. You got 1 receiver there, and A.J. Green is going to get doubled and tripled. You got Tyler Eifert at tight end, but Dalton didn't even look at him all game. So, I mean, really the offense is going to be, live and die through Dalton. He's shown the last couple of years he could do it in the regular season. Still hasn't won a playoff game. I probably won't win a playoff game if he keeps having to play, like the Chiefs or having to play the Raiders or the Broncos. Those defenses are way too good. And Dalton's just not as elite as some of those other guys on those teams. I'm not saying like Trevor Siemian is elite, but that defense being good enough, you know, he can manage the game kind of like Trent Dilfer did back when the Ravens won the Super Bowl in like 2000. You know, like a Kerry Collins type. He can get the job done. But that's just because he's got legit running backs there. He's got solid receivers. Their defense is top 10 in the league, have been for the last, 8 years. So, you know, Dalton, this is it. You know, this is make and break for you. I know you just got paid, but, dude, you got to fucking really bring it this week. You got to show everyone tomorrow night what you're about. You got to have a big rebound game. You got to put up 3 touchdowns at least. You got to win convincingly, which I don't really think is going to be a problem. You know, they got the line set right now at 6. So, you know, Bengals are giving 6 points to the Texans, which, you know, seems a little high. But if you go back and watch that game for the Texans, it should probably be a little higher. It should probably be set about 8. And, you know, I don't expect this to be a very high-scoring game. It should be kind of one-sided, in my opinion, just because, you know, who the hell knows what the hell this quarterback's going to do for the Texans. You know, Watson can come out and be explosive, but he can come out and be a fucking huge turd, throw 2 picks, throw for 150 yards, you know, got sacked 5 or 6 times. That's not going to win you games. It's really not. And if your defense is on the field the entire time, you ain't winning. I don't care how good they think their defense is down there. I mean, I know Watt's off the injury for like the last 2 years, but he didn't look very impressive. You know, he wasn't a big factor. The linebackers were all over the field. They were exhausted. Cushing was shot by the end of the game. Their D-backs aren't impressive. You know, so for me, you know, in the end, I'm taking the Bengals. I'm going to take them. I think they easily win by a touchdown. They're definitely touchdown better. I'm probably going to say the game's going to be 24-10. I think the Texans get 1 touchdown. Maybe a field goal or 2, you know, 24-13, something like that. Over-under's at 38. I'm going to take the under. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game, just because both offenses are so meager and, you know, showed literally nothing last week. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what they come out with tomorrow night. First edition of the Color Rush jerseys. You know, it's going to be a very interesting game, to say the least. Probably a boring snoozer. I don't know how much of them to watch. I'll probably watch the first half just to make sure that my bet is looking good. You know, it's safe, which it should be. You know, we'll see. I hope you guys enjoy this, and, you know, enjoy your Wednesday. I'm out. What's going on, everybody? Back here with a whole lot of nothing. Talking Texans Bengals Week 2 game tomorrow night.